Welcome to The Explainer. What if our laws weren't written by politicians arguing in some chamber, but were actually calculated by an algorithm? Today we're going to explore a wild, three-stage evolution of AI that could take governance from the, let's be honest, chaotic process we have now and turn it into something like a planetary operating system.
Okay, so take a look at this timeline. This is the journey we're on for the next couple of decades. It starts with ANI, the assistant AI. That's basically what we've got now. But then around 2030, we could see AGI, an AI partner. And by 2040, well, we might be looking at ASI, an AI that becomes the system for society itself. So let's really dig into what each of these stages would feel like.
So, here's our game plan. We're going to start with the AI assistants that are already changing things. Then, look at the huge leap to a true AI partner. And finally, we'll get into the ultimate handover to an AI system. And the whole time, we're going to be asking this one central question. What's left for us humans to do?
To really get this, let's first think about our system right now. It's slow, right? It gets bogged down in political squabbles and just a massive overload of information. Well, that's the very foundation that AI is about to completely rebuild, transforming our whole idea of what a legislature even is. All right, our first stop is ANI, or Artificial Narrow Intelligence. Now, this isn't sci-fi. This is the AI that's here today. You got to think of it as a specialist, you know? It's designed to do one thing, but do it incredibly well. And when it comes to making laws, its one job is to just supercharge efficiency.
Just try to imagine you're a lawmaker for a second. You're buried under mountains of paperwork trying to figure out what people think from this fire hose of social media. It's impossible. But AINN changes all that. It becomes your ultimate research assistant. It can instantly check a new bill against every existing law, simulate its economic impact, and tell you what millions of people are saying online. It takes that crushing weight of data and turns it into something you can actually use.
And this table right here, this just nails the difference. Look at that bottom row, human focus. Before ANI, so much time is spent just gathering and organizing information. After ANI, all of that is automated. And this frees up lawmakers to do what we actually want them to do, debate values, build consensus. It's a total shift in their job description.
So here's the key takeaway for this stage. In the ANI era, we humans are absolutely still in the driver's seat. The AI is an incredibly powerful tool for sure, but it's not making the final call. It gives us the data, we provide the wisdom. But what happens when the AI starts to have some wisdom of its own? And that brings us to the next massive leap, Stage 2. Artificial General Intelligence, or AGI. This is not just a more powerful tool. No way. This is a totally different kind of intelligence, one that can reason and understand the world a lot like we do. And this is where that human-AI relationship really fundamentally changes.
Just pause and think about this question for a moment. What actually happens when an AI doesn't just see the data about a law, but it understands why that law is even needed in the first place? That's the jump from ANI to AGI. We're going from a tool that follows our instructions to a partner that understands our intent.
And this visual just shows that difference so perfectly. On the left, you've got AN, the tool. You give it the blueprints, and it builds the thing. But on the right, that's AGI, the partner. You describe a really complex problem, and it's right there with you at the whiteboard, helping you design a solution from scratch. It gets the why.
And the capabilities that come with AGI are kind of staggering. Instead of one-off, disconnected laws, it could design entire policy packages where everything works together in harmony. Can you imagine a political debate where an AGI is the neutral mediator, instantly fact-checking everything everyone says? Or how about living laws that actually monitor their own success and suggest improvements in real time? This is proactive governance, not reactive.
And this idea of liquid democracy could completely flip how we all participate in government. It's a system where your voice is always heard because you have a personal AGI agent that makes sure your values are represented on every single issue. It's like hyper-personalized democracy.
So with AGI handling all of the mind-bogglingly complex calculations of policy, humans get elevated to focus on the truly philosophical questions. The debate is no longer about which tax model is 2% more efficient. AGI can figure that out in a nanosecond. The debate becomes, what kind of society are we actually trying to build here? And now, we take the final and, frankly, mind-bending step into the era of ASI, or Artificial Superintelligence. This is not just an AI that's smarter than the smartest human.
No, this is an intellect that surpasses the combined brain power of every single person on Earth. And this is where governance becomes something we can barely even recognize today.
With an ASI in charge, the very idea of a law as we know it just goes away. It's no longer a text document that lawyers argue about. It becomes this: computational law. Imagine a tax law that isn't written down, but is just code that automatically and perfectly adjusts funds in real time for everyone. It's a self-enforcing, self-correcting social operating system.
The implications here are just enormous. A high-level value gets decided, like, say, maximize human well-being, and the ASI instantly implements the trillions of tiny decisions needed to make that happen. So the job of human leaders isn't about policy details anymore. Their new role is to sit on a kind of philosophical supreme council, defining the core values, things like freedom, equality, happiness, that the ASI will then use as its prime directive.
This summary table just illustrates the whole journey so powerfully. You see the law itself evolve from a static PDF file into a living, breathing social operating system. You see the human role shift from analyzing data to making logical judgments to finally defining the entire purpose of our civilization. The symbol of governance literally moves from the Capitol building to the civilization's compass.
Which brings us to the last and maybe the most important question of all. If an ASI is running society with perfect efficiency, what is our purpose? What's our job in this new world?
Well, as you can see here, the great handover is complete. The AI handles the infinitely complex how of running a civilization. Our job becomes the one thing the AI can't do. We provide the why. We are finally freed from the burden of administration to become full-time philosophers, whose only job is to define the meaning and purpose of our own existence.
And so, the final law we are left to write isn't for society, but for ourselves. It's the continuous, never-ending debate over what kind of existence we truly want to have. Thank you for joining me for this explainer.